The Fiio FP3. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a $79 planar IEM that is a custom in-house planar IEM that is sent to me on review from Fiio directly. Let's get into the build quality of this beautiful IEM. Now the shell of this IEM is a little bit round. It has a nice nozzle, a nice faceplate though, and it is a nice feeling in-ear shell. It does isolate well, but it doesn't really feel super impressive, but no faults. It has a nice nozzle which keeps on ear tips, and it feels metallic. It has a flat 2-pin cable connector, metallic looking faceplate, kind of a rose gold trim on this. And overall, I think this is a fantastically beautiful IEM, and that is a huge selling point for this. It has a beautiful form factor, and that is something to know. This only comes with one cable that terminates in a 3.5 connector, has a little cable wrap on it. I like the feeling of this. It's kind of the similar quality of cable as on the Dyna Quattro, which is one of my favorite IEMs. I feel this is just a nice feeling cable. Has a branded Fiio Y split right here. It has kind of a lame chin slider, but it is functional. I love how right and left are colored with red and blue. I just think it's such a fun thing, and it's easy to tell the difference. This does include the Lego case that you'll see on the FD15. The tips they have are nice. I'm going to destroy my nice pile and show you the ones on the right are all blue on the inside, which is kind of fun. They're great tips. Now, how does this guy sound? It has reasonable bass. It has nice dynamics. It is a good sounding IEM with a few peaks and dips that make it so it's not really for me. This is by no means a bad sounding product, but I'm not a huge fan of the tonality and of planars in general. I actually haven't found too many planars that I fully like, and I feel it's kind of one of those things that sometimes we get new technology and it's easy to get excited about. For me, the planar technology is just kind of, it's okay. But let's look at some FR graphs, let's talk about some comparisons, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, let's look at the graph of this guy. It's a little bit, has some interesting peaks. It has a lot of 3K energy, which is not something I'm a huge fan of. A lot of 5 to 6K energy, so it comes off a little bit fatiguing, but overall the tonality of this is not bad. I like kind of less of an energy around 10K oftentimes, and I find myself really liking this set and not minding it, but also not really loving how it sounds on most genres of music. It's kind of a mixed bag with this guy, where I can see how people would like it, but personally I'm not a huge fan. I want to talk about some of Fio's IEMs that I do like. I really like the FD15. Now, problem, the FD15 is significantly more than the FP3. They have about the same bass shelves, but the mids are just much cleaner. That upper treble kind of region's a lot more balanced. I just think the FD15 is better. Now, the FP13 does have better fit and comfort and better and like the accessories are basically the same. So like if you think the sound profile that could work for you when you're a huge fan of planars, I think the FP3 could be a really big winner. But oftentimes planars are just not my thing, and I am not a huge fan of them overall. Another one I will recommend from Fiio is the JD10. Now, I like this IEM. It's very kind of unique in that budget space. There's a little bit of this energy here, right around kind of 4 and 2K, and it just kind of opens it up and kind of gives it a different tonality. Like there's so many cheaper budget IEMs that kind of sound all the same, that are going for that exact same signature, and oftentimes they're going to use similar drivers and similar implementation. But I feel like the FP3 kind of has a little bit of fun. It kind of does something a little bit unique, and I kind of like that about that. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in the world, but it's a nice place in the market, and for its price of sometimes around $10 to $15, I think it's a treasure, all things considering. Now, I want to compare this to other planars. I do really like the Hidis MP145. Again, this is almost double the price. So it's kind of not a really fair comparison. I think the Hidis is really big and really chunky, and the FP3 is really comfortable and just a nice fit. I feel like the dynamics on the Hidis and P145 are better. So it's to me, it's just a sonic win if you're looking for a planar. I wanted to show the trifecta really quick because I do think the FP3, like I've had some tracks on music where it just sounds fantastic. And so I do think on certain tracks in music, it'll sound good. Like kind of on some jazz and piano tracks, it sounded really nice. It doesn't have the thump or the impact of the trifecta. It's a little bit more smooth. And so it kind of lacks that, that craziness the trifecta has. But the FP3, you know, it's more of like a dynamic kind of experimental planar to me. It's a little bit something different. Like let me show you another one that I did not put up here. All right, let's look at the NiceHack Pro. I mean, these two kind of trade blows. I do think the NiceHack F1 Pro has better bass overall, but I think the tonality of the FP3, there's certain elements about this huge dip that kind of make it sound more timbrally correct, and that's just something to kind of think about and to note, as it is a little bit of a unique planar, and I do like elements of the sound of the FP3, and I find it's a little bit unique and engaging in the market rather than just trying to be the exact same thing as everything else. Another one to look at is the Shows EP20. Now this is a little bit cheaper. It just has a more even tonality. Again, its upper air frequencies about the FP3 are kind of what make it interesting and unique. I think people might like that extra detail. They might like the charm and appeal of it. I do think it's a really charming, fun set, but it's just not tonality. Its tonality isn't as neutral as I might personally like. All right, let's rank this guy up. This is a solid C in my IEM. This is the bass isn't super impactful. The mids are a little bit off. The upper air and treble is actually pretty decent, but it is a very technical. It can be fun. It's a nice set. Again, the Fiio FD10 is not too far behind. And you'll notice that this is kind of on the same page as how I rank a lot of planars. I'm not a huge fan of them. I have had a few that I kind of like, but the FP3 isn't really that neutral of a set, and it is a little bit spiky in the treble for me. So the Fiio FP3 is extremely beautiful, extremely comfortable. It comes in at a reasonable price. You get the cool Lego case. Sonically, it's not my favorite. I think if it's more of a specialist, a fun set, something that's interesting and unique, but its treble can be a little bit too much for me. Its bass impact isn't strong enough for me, but its overall tonality is nice and is pleasant while being in a very comfortable and beautiful shell. So it gets kind of what I call a hesitant recommendation. I'm not going to say bad things about it, but overall, it's just not for me, and I think that's fair. I personally feel that there's other sets out there that might do better for you than this, but again, it's a solid set, and I want to say thank you to Fiio for sending this out. I really like the accessories included, and I feel that shows great care to this IEM and to us as customers, because it's just a solid presentation overall. Thanks for watching my video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!